Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. And I apologize that the Facebook apparently has decided today that it does not want to allow me to flip the screen so that I can use the normal widescreen format. So I've been panicking trying to hurry and get this set up so that I could get the video done. Like I said, I don't know, I have no idea why it decided today not to allow me to flip the video, but it did. So I apologize. And unfortunately, I've been trying to fix it. I've restarted my phone. I did everything I could think of, and I cannot get it to flip. So, normally there's just a little setting that says, you know, don't lock my phone, but I don't know. I got nothing. So anyhow, so I apologize that it looks a little crazy. Hopefully you'll be able to see it well enough to see what's going on. And hopefully by the time I do this next week, it'll be fixed, whatever the issue is. So, okay, so this is the card that we are making today. So I appreciate it. If you all are joining me live, feel free to say hello. And if you are watching the replay, that is awesome as well. So hopefully a few of you are here. Facebook is just crazy today. I don't know for sure what they are doing, but good heavens, it's kind of a mess. I don't know if it's with all these updates that they're doing that it's suddenly decided it needs to do things oddly, but it is, and it's kind of driving me crazy. So, all right, I can finally see comments now, which is good. So, hello, Terry and Beth and Bree and Danette and Jerry. I can see y'all are here. And again, I apologize about the crazy look on the screen today. I will try to figure out for next time why it is that the video won't flip. I was just glad I didn't go live sideways. So, hey, Marilyn, glad you're here as well, and Mary. All right, so back to the card. And it's going to be challenging for me because I'm used to having a wide screen, so I'm going to have to get used to working in a smaller space. So anyhow, so back to the card. We are going to be using the Joyful Holly, I wanted to call it Joyful Holiday, Joyful Holly stamp set. And it's a good one from the mini catalog. And this is one that I've used before in a video and used it a couple times for cards. And I really love it. It's just pretty. The sentiments are nice in it. I love that it's got the two-step stamping so you can do multiple colors on things. So it's just awesome. All right, so let me set that aside. The other thing that we used is the dies, the joy dies, and I actually used the piece out of it, not the joy, for the joy dies. Hey, Nancy, thanks for hopping in. So we're going to be using the piece die to do the sentiment on this one. And then the final piece that I used on here for die cutting is I used this one of the stitched rectangles I actually used for the vellum piece right here on the background of the card. So I used that to cut the vellum. So that is all that I used for die cuts on the card today. So hey, Marianne, thanks for hopping in today. I appreciate you being here. All right, couple things before we get started. Do not forget, tomorrow Stampin' Up! Has their one day only 24-hour stamp set sale. There are a whole huge list of stamps. I didn't count them. I think there are like 58 or something. Someone else counted them. But a whole pile of stamps that are going to be on sale for 15% off tomorrow. So be sure that you hop on. It is for tomorrow, which is, well, depending on when you're viewing the video, maybe today. It is September 23rd from midnight Mountain Time until 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time, so midnight in the morning, like 12:01 a.m. until 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time on the 23rd. So if you are planning to shop, definitely go take a look at it. Some good deals out there. Hey, Karen, glad you're here as well, and Kayla. So, all right. So just wanted to remind you that that is coming tomorrow, so don't miss it. Again, it's September 23rd. It's all day and only on the 23rd. So if you're seeing this video later, unfortunately you missed it. So, all right, Stampin' Up! Also has their Get and Go Starter Kit promotion, which is going on now through the end of September. You get, for the normal $99 price that you pay, plus taxes if that applies in your area, you get to pick your $125 worth of merchandise, whatever it might be that you are interested in the catalog. And then they're also going to give you for free 16 card bases, well, essentially 16 card kits, 2 stamp sets, the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set and the So Much Love stamp set, and a pack of rhinestones for free when you join during the month of September. So it is a great deal. Let me know if you have any questions. And once you join, there's no pressure to sell. It's just definitely can do whatever you would like with it. And you'll get your discount, demonstrator discount of 20% at least on any order that you place. And you can go to Stampin' Up! Events and all that sort of fun stuff. So let me know if you have questions. We'd be happy to have you join our team with us. Final thing I wanted to remind you about is World Card Making Day is on Saturday, October 3rd, and our team is going to be doing a little fun event all day long, stamping events and videos for you out on a Facebook page. We are going to be opening the Facebook page up on Tuesday, the 29th, I think it is. Yep, 29th of September for everybody to join that is interested. And so just hop on back. I'll be posting the details on my Facebook page. It'll go on my blog. It'll go in my newsletter. So any of those things, if you follow along with any of those, you definitely won't miss out because we'll be advertising it everywhere. Hey, Jeannie, thanks for hopping in today as well. Okay, so I think that's all. Let's get going on the card before I, talk, since I'm all looking crazy today anyway. All right. We are going to start with a piece of the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, and if you've watched my videos before, you know how much I love this designer paper. This piece is cut to 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, and we're going to do a little stamping with Garden Green ink. And again, I apologize, I'm having to remember to pull things over to the screen so that you guys can see them, because I'm used to working with a little wider format. And I've got one of the holly images here, the outline holly images that I'm inking up with the Garden Green ink, and I'm just going to stamp it here on the designer paper. And then I'm going to take the second holly outline image, which is here, and I'm also going to stamp that in Garden Green ink on the lower part of this designer paper panel. And again, all the cardstock cuts and measurements and details for this card will be posted out on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. So you can go take a peek, and I will also link up in the video tomorrow once the blog post goes live, so you'll have a direct link to it. All right, so next up, we're going to stamp the inside part of the leaves, and I have got Pear Pizzazz ink that I'm going to be using for that one. The only thing that's a little tricky about the stamp set is just making sure you're stamping the right holly leaves over the right image, because the first time I stamped it, I tried to do it the wrong way around, and it didn't work out quite as well as it could have. All right, so we've got Pear Pizzazz ink here. I'm going to turn this, and hopefully you can still see it, and I can see it as well. It's pretty easy to line up as long as you don't have a camera in between you and what you're stamping, and I do have that today. So it takes me an extra second, and then I cross my fingers and hope that I've stamped it right, which it looks like I did that time around. So one down, one to go. Then I've got the other set of holly leaves that I'm going to be inking and stamping here as well in Pear Pizzazz. And again, just going to kind of try to get up over this as best I can with the camera in between me and the paper. I think I got them actually both fairly straight, so phew. Always a little, breathe a little sigh of relief when that happens. So, all right, next up we've got some Real Red ink, and we're going to be stamping the berries. So there are a couple sets of those. It's just one set of berries, but it actually stamps the images on both of the holly branches here. And again, hopefully I can get it lined up. It's a little, like I said, it's a little tricky. It's even worse trying to do it with the sideways view camera. Oh, I totally messed that one up. So, but it happens. That's okay. Let me turn this and see. I think I realized why I messed it up so badly, because I was stamping it with the wrong image. Well, I'll just have to try to make sure that my twine covers that piece of it. So, but yes, yep, I screw up lots of things. We'll just figure out how we fix it, so no worries. All right, again, just stamping in Real Red ink the little berries over the top. I was all nervous about the leaves and not worried in the least about the berries, and then I screwed those up. So, hey, Linda, thanks for hopping in from Idaho as well. All right, I have got a piece of crumb cake cardstock cut to 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm just going to adhere that to adhere the stamped panel to that crumb cake cardstock using a little Stamp and Seal. And hopefully y'all are having a good Tuesday. It's a beautiful day here. Started out a little cool this morning, but we're definitely getting some of that nice fall weather in, and I think today is the official first day of fall, so yay for that. Fall is one of my favorite times of the year. So, all right. Next up, I wanted to show you really quickly how I did the sentiment. I actually used some of the foam adhesive sheets, which this is one of the newer products from Stampin' Up. And you can cut it with your paper trimmer, just like you would paper. So I used the paper trimmer, and I cut it down to the same size as I cut a piece of the brushed metallic cardstock. So I've got the two pieces cut to the same size, and I'm just going to adhere them together. This is sticky on both sides. So when I cut this with the trimmer, I just put it to the size that I want and cut it, and then I actually flipped it over and cut it on the other side so that it cut through both of the backing pieces at the same time. And I didn't have to use my scissors because I don't cut very straight. If you watch my videos, you know fussy cutting is not my thing, and I have a hard time cutting straight. So anytime I can use my trimmer, I do, and it worked out pretty well for this. So you just basically peel off one of the sides of the backing and adhere whatever paper it is that you want to cut to the top of it. And then we do our die cutting. So I've got the piece die, and I'm just going to put that right here over the top of this, and then run it through my die cutting machine once, and then run it back through a second time, and that seems to cut it pretty well for me. So my die cutting machine is over here on a separate table because it wiggles the table a lot if I'm right here in front of you doing it. So I'm just going to wheel myself over here and do a little die cutting quick. So hopefully it's fall where everybody else is from as well. I don't know. I know I've heard out west that it seems, I feel like it's still pretty warm out there. But over here on this side of the US, we definitely seem to be cooling off. So I just ran it through and backed it up, and that did the die cutting for me. It's a little tricky to get these out of here, but not terribly tricky. I am just going to leave the die kind of in place because that seemed to be working. And just peel, maybe I'll pull that out of the way after all, and peel the backing here a little bit. When I did this the first time, I actually just snipped away the backing and kind of peeled it out like this, and it seemed to work well for me to do that, to kind of cut it off in pieces so that I could kind of pull a hunk of it out and then pull the rest of it out and toss it out of my way, since this is kind of the backing piece. And like I said, it's not terribly fussy to work with, but it's a little bit when you're using the intricate dies. You just kind of have to be a little careful not to either stick it to something you don't want it stuck to, or to rip something. So like I said, it's a little putsy to mess around with, but not too terrible. Now I just need to get this part peeled out of the E, and then I will poke out the little centers of all of these letters, and then we can stick it on the die cut vellum piece. So there we go. I think we're finally getting it loose. Probably would have been better if I had not peeled all of the backing off of it, but it all kind of came loose all at once. So all right, let me grab this out of the center. And for me, again, I find that kind of pushing it up from the back and picking it out like that seemed to work well to remove the pieces that were sort of stuck, the centers of the letters and that type of thing. So I'm just picking and peeling it there. All right, and then I have got a piece of white vellum that I have cut ahead of time with one of the stitched rectangle dies. Again, it's this particular stitched rectangle die, which fits in the set. I should have shown you the whole set. Fits in the set right here, so it's one of the narrow dies. It's the biggest one of the narrow dies, if that makes sense. And then I'm just going to place this onto the vellum, and I'm using that adhesive sheet that I die cut it with to adhere it together. So the adhesive sheets give it a little lift and give it, and make it stick, which is nice, makes it easy. So the next thing, of course, because it's vellum, it's see-through, so you have to be a little careful on adhering things. But I use multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm just kind of touching it to the areas. Hopefully I'm on screen. Goodness, it's like I said, I'm not used to the video being flipped the wrong way, but it is what it is today, so we're going forward with it. And just doing little touches here and there with the multi-purpose liquid glue. And in a second, I'm also going to tie a strand of linen thread around it as well. So that will also help. This is just to give it a little extra stick to make sure that it stays on where I want it to be. All right, so I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to try to cover up my boo-boo a little bit. Place it so that my twine is going to be covering where I did the the goof on the stamping of the berries. And I'm just going to hold it for a second and make sure that everything is stuck down where it should be. So I appreciate y'all joining and watching today. So hopefully you're enjoying your Tuesday afternoon. I guess it's probably not afternoon everywhere. Tuesday afternoon here in New Jersey, where I live at. So then I'm just going to take linen thread and wrap it around here twice. And I'm going to tie a little bow. Weather's in the low 80s, but less hazy. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I know the fires have been just terrible this year. Goodness. One of the women, I guess I can't say that I know her personally, but we have chatted online a few times. Her house, actually, she was in Oregon, and her house burned down completely, so it's awful out there. So definitely, I know it's been bad, very, very bad out there. So, goodness. All right, just tying a little bow with the linen thread. Again, oh, look at that. I even covered it up pretty well, so you can hardly see my stamping goof on there. So, all right, trimming down just a little bit, and then we're going to put it onto the card front with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Thank you. I appreciate that, ladies. Hey, Jackie, thanks for hopping in today. And Yoka is here. I see her as well. So you definitely need to get this stamp set, Karen. It's a good one, good one, good one. So I love it. I've been using it a bunch. And it's really easy to use. Like I said, as long as you don't have a camera in between you and what you're stamping, it's actually incredibly easy to line up. It's just a little more challenging when I'm trying to look through the camera. And of course, then I get even more nervous because I'm in front of everybody and then end up with things all sorts of crazy. So, but it's actually a really easy stamp set to use. So. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm glad y'all are liking the card. So that is most of the card front. Let me grab one last little embellishment from the metallic pearls. I'm going to grab 3 of the little gold ones. And today is just not my day, I think. I don't know. I'm struggling with technology today, struggling to get the embellishments stuck on. And, well, it's okay. It's Tuesday. So, all right, so that is it for the card front. Just added a couple of the little gold pearls on it. And then the inside of the card, we're going to keep pretty simple as well. Just do some quick stamping with the sentiment from the Joyful Holly. Oh, I don't know why I'm struggling with the name of that. Like I said, words are difficult for me today. So on a piece of Whisper White cardstock, just going to stamp the sentiment here. And then we are going to go back and stamp one of the holly images in Garden Green. Just going to stamp the outline image. So thank you. I appreciate all the sweet comments. So glad you guys are enjoying the card, even though I'm fumbling around and fumbling through it. So doing a little Garden Green stamping on the side here. And then I'm going to close this one up and grab my Pear Pizzazz and do the fill-in images. Maybe. There we go. Hopefully I've inked the right one. And again, I'm going to be right up over the top of it and hopefully get it stamped straight on here. I did reasonably well with that one. Not as well as I did on the card front, but close. And then we've got a couple of berries to stamp on the inside here, and then we will be all done with the card. So one other, there, I totally messed that one up. Just when I think I've got it. Then I do something like that. And I hope y'all are laughing along with me today because, goodness, I'm all flustered. I think I'm blaming it on Facebook and not being able to get the video to play right. So doing a little bit stamping with Real Red to fill in the berries. So thank you again all for being patient with me today. Some days I'm just a train wreck. Today, I guess, is one of them. So, all right, so that is it for the inside of the card. We're just going to use a little stamp and seal to adhere it inside the card base. And while I am doing that, just want to remind you that I'm also offering a double reward point ordering bonus for anyone who orders $50 or greater in product from me through the end of September. From now through the end of September, you'll get double reward points from me. So keep that in mind with the sale tomorrow as well. So, and it all counts. So, all right. Well, thank you. Phew, I made it and only did 5 major mistakes. So thanks for putting up with me today and for letting me fumble through this. So I appreciate you guys watching today. And like I said, some days are like that. That's all I can say. So have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. I will try to be not such a mess on Friday on my YouTube channel live, and back here again, hopefully not such a mess next week, Tuesday. So I appreciate you all putting up with it today and for joining me today, and have a fantastic rest of your week. And we will all chat soon.